Hi guys, Captain Moffat here. This is my opinion about Alien Independence Day today. The movie begins with a distress call from an alien ship, I suppose, and some form of alien. Pretty nice. I was a bit scared though, but then excited. Another alien responded, and then we cut to Earth, 5 years into the future, and I am in my semester in Spain, the 5th of June today. Pretty nice. Though anyway, so they they begin with showing our main protagonist, that is the son of the person that was the main protagonist in the first movie. Pretty nice. And we get some callbacks to the first movie by some characters returning. For example, the little boy that his father were in Africa when one of the alien ship crashed, or when they destroyed the alien ship in the first movie. One of the alien ships tried to dig in Earth to basically accomplish one thing, to destroy the planet and take its resource by destroying the planet's core. Though the ship was stopped, and the ship is now in Africa as a ruin, and P.S. the Africans killed most of the aliens, and now they have done a tribe, or not a tribe, but a type of tattoos and markings that they don't like aliens at all. They don't like aliens at all, basically. But they have a special squad for killing them. And also, P.S. also, the humans have advanced 5 years into the future, advanced with the alien technology integrated in the machine guns and weapons that the American military has. And also the airplanes or the planes and helicopters has now alien fused motor jets or something like that. Futuristic stuff. And we also cut to our protagonist that gets a ceremony from the United States of America for being a war hero's son, and get congratulations, yay, you're famous now, yay. Pretty nice, pretty cool. And then we cut to our next protagonist later on, that he's a bit unsure about his duties. The first one is a bit unsure about the duties, but he's pretty happy about it. And he's proud of his dad, and his dad is dead, supposedly. But I think the actor decided to not be in this movie. I don't know why, maybe, I don't know. But the point is, his character is dead, died in a pilot accident. So now our protagonist has only his mother as his side. And his mother is a nurse, of course. Though he has a photo of her when she was younger in the first movie that they took in the first movie, I suppose. And I don't remember the whole first movie, so don't judge me on that one. There are gonna be some references to the first movie though, I think. I didn't so much keen on it. Though, we cut to our other protagonist. Our other protagonist is in the moon, doing some excavation and fixing satellites. Fixing the satellite better. Better saying fixing a satellite. And he's basically doing excavations, projects and such for it. And he also, P.S., talked with his girlfriend at a futuristic penguin internet face cam thing. Talked with them, loving things and such. And that's later on though. We continue where we were. He's excavating and doing such, but then something fails in the place where they fix the satellites, or they're gonna put a new satellite. So something fails by putting in the new satellite, and he basically fixed it, but he's basically burning away the motors. He burned away the motors that in the alien advanced space ship that they have with motors. He burned away it, and his boss be very pissed. And he has his brother, that his brother said, you shouldn't have done that. That actually burned the motors. He's basically protecting him. And he's saying, no, I'm not for it. And like, no, I'm doing it. He's like, hold your seats on, brother. He basically did it. He lifted it, he burned the motors, and his boss is like, pretty pissed off. Pretty pissed off. And he gets detention. And that's when we hear about the face comment talking about his wife that I mentioned earlier. Then the face comment, something breaks because of some form of disturbance in the technology and such. And that's later on though, but that happens. And then the connection breaks and such. And his brother says to him, you're scolding and such before that. Says, why did you do that? And then we meet our first protagonist meets the other protagonist. I don't remember their names, but there are two main protagonists in this. Two main protagonists. And they are both children in the first movie. And I remember a fun thing though. The funny thing was that I remember the crazy pilot guy from the first movie. Pretty fun. That one I remember from the Alien movie. I remember, I think, more things, but we can say this. I forgot some things, alright? Don't judge me on that. No, anyway. They have a bit of fighting because, you know, I think it's scripted or supposed to be, but the point is they have a fighting because they arguing about each other's father choices, or, you know, he's a better pilot, he's not a pilot. He's just a worker at satellites and fixing satellites when he wants to be a pilot. Type of rivalry, type of, I want to be what you are, basically. Fighting. And he then apologizes about their behavior. And that fighting happened in the kitchen area. Where they eat, where all the pilots eat. And his brother says, if you didn't do that, I would have punched him very hard. And the other one punched him, or, you know, they did a bit of fighting. Not much, just a stare or just a punch or something like that. And he said, no, that would be stupid. Don't waste the time on him. Basically, he said, don't waste time on punching him. He's not worth it anyway, he said. So anyway, then later on he apologizes about that, so that's pretty nice. Though, after that, we have a romance scene after the fighting scene. I'm jumping in between here. But we have a romance scene with his brother that has eye on a person from China that is very famous in piloting in aircrafts. In those fast airplanes from the United States. Basically those jets. Yeah, those jets. And she's very famous. She's very good at her piloting, and she's the best in her class, basically. And he has even... I can understand this, but it's pretty funny. But I understand it. You do whatever you want for love, though. He has read Chinese to impress her, and also he was a bit jealous when another guy showed up that she talked with. I don't remember what they said, but there were no text when they said something, so I was in the movie theater, so that makes sense. So anyway, he was a bit jealous, but not much. And then he said, I talk Chinese and blah 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 to know you and such. And she says, oh, pretty good then. You know, basically, they're gonna not hit up right just yet. Sorry, they're not gonna hit up. They're not gonna date just yet. Though anyway, after that, we go to a hospital bed in United States, where a sleepy guy that has slept for a lot of time wakes up from his coma. And would you know it? It's the scientist from the first movie that I maybe didn't see. Yeah, I think I saw him somewhere. I think. Though anyway, so I'm in Spain still, so there are a bit sound of cars and such. But anyway, he wakes up, he gets a vision from the aliens, and this movie is also a prequel that I said before. Wait, it's also prequels. And basically the signal from before, that's gonna happen something. But anyway, he wakes up, he gets visions and such like that, and then he goes to his son, I think, who is much older now, and he even wakes up without his pants. He has a medical thing, you know, when you're in hospital and such. But if you think about it, he's been in coma for 5 or 6 years or something like that. A long time, yeah. A type of long time. A pretty long time though. Though anyway, we see another scientist from the Jurassic Park movie with the nice leather jacket that he had in the Jurassic Park movie. The pretty famous actor. Pretty nice hair though. And he plays his role as a scientist. He's trying to investigate why the type of vision people tree has from the tree movie. From the first movie, there are 3 people that has a vision: the president of the United States, the old one, the doctor, and an African guy. And the African guy we're gonna go to now. The scientist guy, sorry, I'm gonna jump back to the scientist guy. Förlåt. I'm gonna jump back to scientist guy, and he's investigating about it and stuff like that. And the other scientist's son has actually done a book. I think it's one of the scientists from the first movie has done a book of himself of how did they defeat the aliens and such. Sorry, how did they defeat the aliens? Pretty funny. And he showed it at a nursing home. Not bad. You need to win money somewhere by giving out your own book. And I actually make 2 of my own books. Though anyway, that's not the focus. One of them are tired and something like that, and he says you can wait and I can give you the books. And now we're gonna go to the African guy. So the African guy, he is basically the child of the father from the first movie that was African from Africa, that they tried to destroy Africa, and basically the aliens tried to destroy Earth and destroy inside of the core. But the ship now is a ruin and basically an old memory. Those aliens that were before in the ship are basically dead. P.S. Some aliens are still in the United States in a base. Still living. Waiting for to be saved, I suppose. If I were an alien in captivity, I want to be saved by my own kind. If I think about it. Though, anyway. He wants to avenge his brother, and he has a vision, and then our reporter guy from Jurassic Park, that's my thing of calling him now, Jurassic Park guy, he comes to them and he's just like, yeah, we need a bit of help, we have heard some visions of aliens, and he says, I had a vision so bad that I needed to paint basically the vision. And then they discover that a type of alien object is showing up on Earth, and they basically decide, yeah, you know, some people say, you know, like those the scientist guy and the 2 main lead, or the other main lead guy, go up to the moon and says maybe this is not dangerous. They show up and see what it is, and then we get a chase scene by asteroids. Pretty nice chase scene, pretty cool action though. Pretty cool action of that, and pretty enjoyable. And almost his brother and the Jurassic Park guy gets almost killed. And also, P.S. we see a reference to the other guy's little brother that was little. We see a reference to him in this movie. But after this movie, actually this movie is a sequel, so that makes sense. Though anyway. This is anyway enjoyable. This movie was enjoyable. Anyway, they discovered that this alien thing, that this thing the government shot like dumbasses, was not hostile to them. Haha, that's gonna bite them in the ass. Basically bite them in the ass. Though anyway, the government decides to shoot it and they say, victory, we're gonna celebrate and such like that. But if I remember, it didn't went so well. Because the scientist guy from Jurassic Park, They recover it and get it to base, and then it wakes up by some form of touch of the old scientist from the first movie that has been in coma for 5 or 6 years. Touches it and it talks. Pretty nice. It's a sentient alien being, so we don't know if aliens talks or not. But this alien says that they were exterminated by, you guessed it, by the original aliens from the first movie. They has basically, what should I say? They have basically said this. Now we're gonna punch the shit out of you. Basically like that. I don't know how to pronounce it in alien, but the point is, they are returned. And that's why we had the bad signal with the wife of our other main protagonist as well. Because the aliens were doing signals and returning back to Earth to get their alien friends or get revenge. The movie is called Independence Day, so it's Independence Day. Now I remember the lower text of it. Independence Day Counterattack. So that's the movie. Independence Day Counterattack of the aliens. So the aliens come back, and I'm just explaining it how I want in this review. The point is, I like the review. I like the movie. Sorry, I like the movie. And though we have some romance with the other protagonists, and also the main protagonist do some cool action stuff, and also some cool fighting and such. But anyway, that point is that then they activate the alien being, and the alien being scanning them and say they are primitive, which we are, in the eyes of the alien, or in the ball of the... It's a giant computer sentient ball. And it's white, so it's not a problem. For me, it's not a problem. It's a pretty nice thing. Though, it tells that the alien race that now come back and kick their ass, or that we're gonna... Those that... sorry. The people from the first movie kicked the alien asses. From the alien from the first movie. Alien Invasion, Independence Day, the first movie, yes. And now the aliens have come back, and the alien ball thing says that... Yeah, we got even also screwed. Their planet got screwed, and it tells about how to basically destroy the other aliens because they don't like them. Which I would guess because they destroyed their whole planet. And they were sentient balls, and they say they don't needed human bodies. Because they advanced so much that they don't need human bodies. Pretty nice. Or their original bodies. Though anyway... it tells about that they have done an own utopia for other alien species that have been attacked by this alien species that we have in the original movie, that now are a mix between the alien from movie Aliens and a type of octopus thing with armor like an ant. A type of combination like that. But anyway, it was fun. Actually, that was a fun combination. Octopus and an ant body and alien from the original Alien movie. Interesting idea. Though anyway, focus with the movie. The point is, it says that we can only destroy it by basically shooting the ship. They think, oh, we can do it the same thing what they did in the first movie. Nope. Nope. The alien queen has actually prepared herself to defend. And they actually know this. So they did like a checkmate to the humans. It was a pretty battle. It was a nice battle, if I say so myself. Though it was not so fun for the humans. But they actually did what they did, you know. They did a good speech. They did, we need to defend our planet. You know. If we're gonna die, we're gonna at least die with our defense. And... you know, they say something that they said in the trailer from the movie also. That we're not gonna surrender or something like that. Pretty nice. And they also said that we're gonna put our differences when they're gonna attack the alien ship. And they tried to attack it with like half a ton of bombs. Or a lot of bombs. Which they pretty much do, and they do coordinations. And our two main protagonists says you fly there, you fly there. Pretty nice. And they're actually working together, and they did their peace with fighting before in the cafeteria. So they do some good fighting, and they pretty much fail on their almost objective, but they succeed in a bit of their objective. Though they get trapped and they get played like checkmate, like I said before, and yeah. And some of them survive, some of them not. But the African guy the African guy that has his little brother says that we need to kill them from the back. Sorry, kill them from the back. And he's basically like this. He's a tank. He's the vengeful tank, kind but vengeful, and wants to kill every damn alien piece of shit. Which, if I think about it, if my little brother would have died, actually I would have killed them. Which they did in Africa, that they have their skulls. And they have their tribe symbol, or they have no aliens allowed, killed. Kill every damn alien. And they have advanced technology like the Americans. After that, yeah, after 5 years before. Like I said before in the video. Though anyway, he basically says to them, kill the behind. And we also have a funny guy that is a reporter, or no, not a reporter. I think he's a salesman. Then he becomes like, kill them. He becomes like the tough, but also not tough, and like he screams, ah! And we also have a scene with the original president that talks with the aliens because he is part psychic. Okay, the signals from these three characters I told you before, the African and the scientist and the president, they can communicate with them by psychic. Of course they would do. They did it in the first movie, so that would make sense. They were exposed to much signals from the aliens, so they are basically I when they're coming in contact with the aliens. Which they did, and I think the father lied on something to his daughter, and the daughter is the person that loves the protagonist, that is the pilot. That is the other person that wants to be the pilot, and he gets his chance by the fighting in the checkmate trap that I told you before, that they got into the ship. They think that we could do the same thing that they did in the first movie. Nah, not exactly, like I said before. Though anyway, they get in there and they basically get slaughtered, some of them. Of course, some needed to be killed because this is an action movie, so that would make sense. Though anyway, it's a funny scene when the son of the main protagonist from the first movie says, "Hi aliens, do you see me? Oh no, it's not him. It's the other guy. Yeah, the crazy pilot. Sorry, the crazy pilot. He's like, do you see me? Now you're gonna get revenge for everyone you killed, you bastards." And P.S. They killed a lot of people in the city. Holy shit, that was a massacre in the world. France, no existing. America, alright. Other countries? Don't even guess. And memorial places, monuments, bye-bye. They're bye-bye. And it was pretty fun action scene. He's basically moving around the advanced ship over shipwrecks and shit. Pretty nice. He's basically saying, now you're gonna get it. He's basically doing a thing that children should not do, and even an act that small children should not do either. He basically, he pees on them and says, this is for everyone you killed, the assholes, come on. He basically takes a distraction to them. And his brother is there, and the Chinese chick is there, and the main protagonist is there as well. And I think they're there. There were only 4 people left after, let me see, 20 people, or an whole squad of American airplanes with advanced alien technology. There were only 4 left. Pretty good plan, guys. Pretty good plan. Nope. But pretty cool action scene, and the main protagonist's mom dies. I don't know this part. Okay, this part was the worst, or not the worst, but the stupidest. He could have saved her, but he wanted to save her. He even almost acted into it, which I give props to it. Though he says to a plane, to a helicopter, that is advanced, that says to rescue him and his mother, or rescue his mother and a woman that has a child, and they need to escape from the hospital, and everyone is evacuating the hospital, and they couldn't even save his mom. They saved the baby, but they said, take the child like this. Take the child first. Why not take the mother and the child with the mother holding the child first? Plot of movies. That part was a bit like, even my mom and I went to see the movie as well. Even my mom think that was stupid. So blame it that on the script. Though anyway, his mom dies, yada yada. Pretty sad moment. I was pretty sad. Actually, I was sad about it because she was a good actress. And also, 2 parents died now. One died by another person that doesn't want to be doing the role. He decides himself. Second died because of a stupid helicopter policy of delivering the child first into the plane. Into the helicopter first. Thing, I suppose. Though anyway, this ranting has been long, and the old president contacts with them and almost gets strangled dead, but luckily gets shot. Luckily, the alien gets shot and killed, and the aliens are getting more like, let us get out of here, basically. Sorry, let us get out of here. I tried to assume how the aliens reacted. And anyway, then the father did a miscalculations of his psyche, of his vision, and he would say in before the aliens attacked, before the aliens attacked, he did a vision of what would happen in a couple of minutes after the confidence of, they celebrate that they won and such, and they do a new celebration with the old president, and they're basically gonna show him up, and he's gonna say, for those that died and such like that, a type of remembrance moment. But after he took wrong his calculations, many people died, like I tell you before, in the attack. And also, the freaking ship is huge. Even the scientist in the moon, before, this is PS, before in the moon, he says, this ship is more huger than we saw before. Basically, the ship was huger. Let me see, the other ship is like a wimp. This ship is like a giant compared to that ship. And it pretty much burned them. It pretty much burned half of the planet to smithereens. And the father is like, oops, I did it. Oops, I should have warned. And he actually almost warned them. But they decide, no, don't. He's like, he almost should speak. And then the aliens decide to attack. But anyway, he almost tried to do it. And his daughter became so pissed because he think that he said, your boyfriend is not gonna live, and she's pissed. And then she decides herself to go longer in the movie. She decides herself to go up and kill the aliens herself. Sorry, to kill the aliens herself. But the father says, no, I'm gonna do it. And he did a speech, pretty nice speech, about I am a president, I need to do the duty of the country, which, okay, you do it, of course. I'm not gonna stop you. But it was pretty nice speech though. And he says, we are the only one left here that could drive the planes, and yeah. And then the daughter even still do it anyway. But anyway, she says, the father in her has a moment also that he says that you were born to fly and such like that. And she says, I was born to fly. And he says, I was duty to protect your future. But she says, I want to protect you as well. Nice thing to father and daughters stuff. But anyway, sorry. The other guys get out, and they actually almost get out before the ship even closes in. They have a hangar, so before the hangars closes on the alien ship, they get out, and it's like, oh no, my brother is dead, holy shit. And then it says, did you miss me? Did you miss me? A type of action line and such that. A type of nice action line. Pretty good. It was pretty good. I was like, oh shit, he is almost gone, but not exactly though, but they were also the main protagonists, so why would they be gone? Sorry. bit bad in my throat. Though this review is pretty long. But anyway, and also the father says a speech that, you know, he says a speech that every human, from which religion, which type of belief you have, we need to stay united to fight against the aliens. Basically a nice speech for humanity to be saved, which actually is pretty nice. We see other environments, we see the mountains, we see the Buddhists, and we see other people from other places, and also the fishermen that they contact with the base to see what happens with a laser, because the laser in the new ship, they have a bigger laser that's almost sapping the whole Earth to death, and they want to destroy the core, like the white little ball said, to take out the energy. So they say, we have only 5 minutes left, or 20, or 5 or 20 minutes first 20, then 5 minutes later on in the movie, later in the end of the movie. And we have a scene with some children that lost their parents, sadly, that then gets into a school bus with children. And actually, P.S. I remember, the Jurassic Park guy has a father that I forgot to mention. He survives the destruction coming of the aliens when they attacked, when the old president wanted to say about the warning. He survived. Holy shit, he survived from a tsunami of hundreds of boats coming after him that are almost gonna crash down his yacht, his sports boat. Sport, his very expensive boat. I don't remember what the boats are called, so sorry for that. Sorry if this review is a bit rusty. I needed to remember this. It was not easy to remember. Though anyway, he survives, the kids takes care of him, and they say we should maybe take him in. Are you the guy from the book? And he drives around with the kids, and he talks about what happened to them, and they have a little cute dog that has a pretty weird blind eye, or pretty weird popping eye problem, or a type of problem with the eyes or something. But it's a pretty interesting dog. And they talk around what happened with their parents. Their parents were dead. They don't want to talk about it because one of their children was small, and yeah, it's not easy to talk about that after the world has almost destroyed itself by aliens that almost destroyed half of the whole. Let me see. Canada, Mexico, United States, part of United States, but doesn't exist, are ruined. Are basically half of the planet is almost ruined, so they don't want to basically talk about their parents because their parents maybe died off screen. I didn't see their parents, so they died off screen, so they don't want to talk about it. But anyway, they go around with the guy, and then they stop because the car, they don't want to leave the car. They don't want to leave the stuff, but they decided to leave it because the car has no gas and no battery anymore. And then they find by luck, they find a school bus, and the father of the Jurassic Park guy, I don't remember the name, he actually talks about what happened to you kids, and they say, the bus driver just left us like shit. And it's like, holy shit, what did he do? He was like pissed off, which I would be too if that would happen. And he decides to say, yeah, I'm gonna take care of the bus and I'm gonna drive. And he says to the other ones, come, there are 5 kids in the other car, so he says to them, come in, we need to go into the bus. And the father of the Jurassic Park guy is also gonna go to the military base in United States, PS, in United States military base. And the alien, basically, longer into the movie, I'm jumping in between parts in the movie. Before they attacked or something into the alien ship, the aliens decided to, the alien decided, basically, we're not gonna fuck around. we're gonna kill every damn president or high person in this planet. And they basically did. Almost. And they need to defend this little white ball that says that, you know, he has more, it's a she, I think, that has more knowledge and stuff how to defeat them, and they have a safe place for humans or other aliens or humans. We are a type of alien species for them, for the ball thing, the white little ball thing. Though, it says there exists a planet for safe haven for aliens, for humans, because most of the planet of Earth is pretty much, most of it, it's fine. It's still fine, half 3%. But half the other percent, nothing. Though anyway, the aliens basically say fuck you and kill you, and basically kill. And we also have some alien killing soldier scenes, and also I remember. Also the guy with the taxes become like kill, and the other guy the African guy that lost his brother gets visions and gets ow in the skull. That's longer. That's now in the end of the movie now. Though, the father that was in coma shot every damn alien that came in. Were like 20 aliens, and he's like, die. And who would guess why? Wait, I know why. His son died in front of him, sadly. Because they were like this. They talked with the ball about, oh, we can maybe cure cancer. Good. They talked about black hole theories and stuff that are impossible right now. Oh, sorry. Stuff that are impossible right now. And when they talked before his father died, or before his son died, the other scientist that was in coma talked with his son, you know, about the ideas and about the stuff, and he said, should we not talk about this and actually, you know, get prepared or defend ourselves or something? And then he said, I'm touching the ball to just start it, to talk with it. And it's a bad idea because the aliens, P.S. the humans did a type of detection ball thing, copy. The mutants they did a cameo thing about the ball, the signal, because the ball said, the ball alien thing said, the white thing, the nice alien said that they did a track device to disguise that they are having the real one in another base, when they are disguising it as a type of attack place to attack the aliens instead, to get some more time, because the aliens were coming like a bee to honey, directly, like flying like fast. And because the doctor touched the alien ball thing, nice alien thing, they discovered that they are roosted, that they were lied on in the noses. Though anyway, we get some cool action scenes, and in the end we get the father from the old president, or the old president says, Happy new 4th of July, alien crap. I know it was you. Basically a basically a nice action moment between him and the alien queen. It's like, hi, we meet again, do we? We meet again, old friend. Or not old friend, we meet again, alien queen. She's like, something like that, she talks. I don't know alien language, so and she was pretty prepared. She was like armor battle suit and machine gun, alien machine gun, and we have alien weapons, so we are pretty even in some regard. And also the daughter tried to damn shoot it, and she did pretty well. Better than the other pilots. The other pilot was like flies. Yeah, the alien queen was like, let me see, 60,000 high? Pretty high. Pretty tall. And she was like, yeah. They're the little annoying flies. Smack. Type of like that. Compared to us, we are only little flies to her, so She actually got a beating. She actually defeated the alien queen's armor and made her defenses weak. And it was almost pretty close to the children of the school bus. And they were like, "Ah, run, run!" And they're like running away in the bus. About wee, 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 wee. Sorry. I needed to do an osmosis because I remember that scene and it was fun. Sorry, it was fun. And they're like, wee, and the alien like, wah, almost close, and like she like, the wife of the second protagonist shot like, and she has some sad moments or some developing moments, and in the end they defeat the alien queen by doing the first thing they did in the movie. The first thing they did in the movie was the second protagonist burns PS. They burned the jet motors that I told you before in the first part of the movie. The alien jet motors. They did the same, but they are now in alien ships, so they were pretty nice. They fight aliens. They're die aliens, but they're all alien ships. And the queen, PS. The queen is like a bee, so she controlled the alien ships, and even them, they could not even do moves. So they decided, yeah, just burn the gas out of the ship. Maybe that would control it. And he says, the main protagonist, the first main protagonist says, well, basically burn the motors. And then he talks, the other protagonist talks with his brother and says, are you good at shooting? Or he says to his wife, or his girlfriend, the Chinese girl, I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name. No. He says, are you good at shooting? And she's pretty good. She's the best in her class, so that will make sense. So anyway, they do a spinneret up in there like ballerinas or something. And it's like a tornado of aliens. And then they shoot like, ah, die. And they're like, P.S. The Marines, the fisherman says there are only 5 minutes before the alien war machine is gonna kill our planet's core. Yeah, that's pretty tight to try to damn kill an alien queen. But it was pretty nice. A pretty nice battle, and they're like, and it's like, goodbye, alien queen. The main protagonist like, yeah, now I'm gonna have revenge for my father and my mother. You bastard. And they kill the alien queen. Pretty cool. And some of the kids from the school bus get slimed. The whole bus gets slimed. And some of the kids, that's a bit of stupid part in the movie, and almost the end of the movie now. That's a pretty stupid part. One of the kids were like, yeah, I'm gonna touch that. Good idea. Touch an alien queen that could maybe generate back her body. Or, it's pretty dead. It's dead. Yeah, it's dead. Pretty cool action. Brrr. Pretty nice music. They had the music from the original movie, I think. I don't know. But anyway, my rambling. My scores for this movie is action. I give it a 6. Acting, I give it a 5. Not bad. Cinematography, a 4. Not the best, but pretty good. And that was my opinions about the movie. Thank you for everything, and goodbye.